Shalom, 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 Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And let me get this quick. This is 2nd Ezra 16 to 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right? And this is what you're going to see in this video. This is coming out of San Francisco. Right? Everybody would say San Francisco is a beautiful city. Nice to go visit. But not according to this video, man. It says San Francisco is scary dangerous, right? And this is another example of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that he is putting forth on Babylon the Great, America, right? Soon, because right now the money is drying up, right? People don't have, a livelihood no more. They feel like the walls are closing in on them. So, hey, they're gonna act out, right? They're gonna act a damn fool. People are gonna die. People are gonna crime is gonna increase. Violence is gonna increase, right? And this is what you see happening: the moral decay of society, man. Right? People don't care about each other no more. People don't care about nothing no more, man. Some people out here, they would rather die than to still be here. Because things are not just working out. The great old American dream is a nightmare. Right? That's what it is. It's a nightmare, man. Right? So let me get that again. This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, meaning they're not going to stop, man. They're not, once a month, once every 2 months, once a week. Nah, this is every day, man. This is 3-4 times a day, man. Right? It says, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringing forth her son, like this woman, she's about to give birth, right? Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, man. Like when she's about to deliver that baby, her what they call it? I forgot what they call it. Basically, she keep having these pains, and they're constant, right? They're constant pains, back to back to back. That's how these plagues are coming on Babylon the Great, man. It says, which pains, when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment, man. Meaning, like the pain, they're not gonna slack. That woman is in constant pain. And who's the woman spiritually? America, right? And her pains and her plagues are constantly, man. The destruction is constant. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side, man. Because you see people, they're in sorrow, right? They're in mourning. So in that sorrow and mourning that they're feeling, they act out, right? They act out, man. That's just the way it is. When people ain't got nothing to lose, they lose it, right? 2nd Ezra 15 and 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, man. Take their goods, as you're gonna see in this video, right? Because of the lack of bread, don't have enough food, don't have enough resources to feed their families and their households, right? And for great tribulation, because all hell is breaking loose out here, man. People not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But us, the men of the Lord, we see it, man. We see why these things are happening. We know why these things are happening, because the kingdom of heaven is coming in, man. The kingdom of the Israelites are about to come in. Our Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem right? Our power, right? Our army is about to come forth and destroy this place, man. But before that happens, great pains will compass, right? Plagues will come upon America, Babylon the Great. So without further ado, we're going to play this. Yahba Shem Al Shada, like the other five. Shalom.
San Francisco was a great place to go. Everybody loved going to San Francisco. They didn't have to advertise, but video of rampant shoplifting and open-air drug markets, even national coverage of a mass shooting that wounded 9 in the city's historic Mission District over the weekend don't really encourage those taking family vacations. And there is less to do than ever. Nordstrom's, Whole Foods, Saks Off Fifth, Anthropologie, Banana Republic, Old Navy, and Office Depot, among many, many others, have all made the decision to abandon their downtown locations. John Dennis is here, chairman of the San Francisco Republican Party. John, it's good to see you. Thank you. I think about this, right? An old line from my dad: nothing kills a bad product faster than good advertising. We're going to play a little bit of the bite and then get you to react. Take a listen.
Here I come, ready, hey, San Francisco. Right when I arrive, I really come alive.
All right, it looks fantastic, and people should want to go to San Francisco. I used to love going. How do you fix San Francisco before everybody shows up and then says, hey, look, I've been, and it didn't work?
Well, I'm not a fan of that commercial, but I mean, San Francisco was a place where, sold itself. Anybody who came here went home and raved to all their friends and family, you got to go to this place. Now, anybody who comes here goes back and says, you got to stay away from this place. It's scary, dangerous, unappealing, depressing. And what's really bad about all this, Leland, is that, for recreational tourists, even for the conventions, most of those hotels are right next to the area that's the worst, the Tenderloin section. Within a block of the Hilton Hotel, which was just turned back to the bank, is the center, the epicenter of the homeless street drug addiction problem. So other cities, they keep it away from the tourist areas. I'm afraid we don't have that luxury here in San Francisco.
All right, so how do you turn this around? How do you fix San Francisco to get it back to what it was?
Well, either people who have never enforced the rules have got to start enforcing the rules, or you've got to put the grown-ups in charge. We have a problem that is actually pretty straightforward. It's just a question of enforcing the rules. And you and I may have talked about this before, but we have a participation trophy generation that refuses to do that. Now, having said that, we have about 60 million square feet of commercial real estate in San Francisco. About 30% of it is vacant now. That number's probably going to climb to 50% by the end of the year. 75% is out of question. And eventually, that downturn is going to affect jobs and then residential real estate prices. And even the hardiest liberal, the hardiest...
Here it is. You got all this homelessness out there, but yet you have, buildings and different types of what they call it, shelters that are vacant, man. And then you have all of these so-called asylum seekers coming into the country, man, when you can't even fix the homelessness of the people that been here, man. This is a true indicator that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is not made to rule, man. He completely fucked everything up, man. Excuse my language. And the Most High is going to do away with his ass, man. Right? Because these people, like you seen, the commercial for San Francisco, you seen Esau Edom enjoying himself. You had, that rainbow agenda that got in there. Then you seen a Jake with an Edomite woman, man. Right? This is the only ways they looking at. They're showing you that, you can have a good life. Right? If you're an Edomite, you're in that rainbow agenda coalition, and you dealing with an Edomite, man. It's crazy, man. This is Job 10:22. A land of darkness. Yes, San Francisco is a land of darkness, man. Everybody knows that's the epic, the number one state for that type of activity, man. Living that lifestyle, if you know what I mean, right? It says a land of darkness as darkness itself, right? And of the shadow of death, man, because it's nothing but death, man. Not just in San Francisco, but America, Babylon the Great, man. This place is longing for death and rigging with death, man. It says without any order, there's no order. There's no solutions, man. Because what? The wicked are in authority. Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. Right? You know, even in matter of fact, let me get that real quick. This is I'm gonna jump to verse, I believe, 5 or 6. Right? 29. Let's go. Because you've seen all of those homeless people out there. You see people not just in San Francisco, but America, Babylon the Great, period. You see how much they're in mourning, how much they're depressed and stressed, right? But check this out. I'm gonna read it again. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, right? Verse 7. Shalakia. Verse 7, it says, the righteous consider it the cause of the poor, man. So if you had a righteous rulership, they would consider the cause of the poor, which means they would do something about it. They'd be like, nah, we got to get this homelessness in check, man. It's simple to the righteous, right? It says, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. You think the rulers of this society care that homelessness is at an all-time high? Or people are stressed out, depressed, at the brink of their highest of stress levels, man. You think they care? They don't give a shit, man. Right? As long as they're good. So Job 10:22 again. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness, man. Right? So they'll have it to where it looks good, right? But then what you really see is evil. What you really see is wickedness. What you really see is crime and violence, man. Right? And if you're a weirdo, if you're a freak, that becomes light, man. That becomes light. Let's continue.
Progressive is going to push back against the policies that are ruining this city. So ultimately, I think that's where this bottoms out. We're probably a little bit away from that, maybe a year to 18 months.
Year to 18 months is a long time, especially if you own a house there and you're watching property values plummet. Just in the meantime, though, I'm watching this ad. Who is it going to bring to San Francisco? Who is the target right now of you people you want to have come visit? And is there anything you can tell them to get them to come?
Well, that's part of the problem of sort of the progressive approach to politics and life in general, is that they really focus more on sort of bullying people into doing things as opposed to appealing people and attracting people to come to a place. So their muscle is pretty atrophied in terms of appeal and attraction right now. So I think they've got to take a couple more steps at this. But you're absolutely right. There's no target audience for this particular ad, and they need to start thinking about who they can really bring back in terms of the conventions. That's really sort of the start. They've got to go back and do some work within the business community.
Yeah, it's amazing. You read the Wall Street Journal headline, hotel owners start to write off San Francisco as business nosedives, where it used to be this enormous, thriving, wonderful place.
Yeah, and this place is collapsing, man. Right before your eyes, man. This place is collapsing right before your eyes. It ain't a damn thing you can do about it, man. Right? Salakia. 1 second. 1 second, Israel. One second, Israel. Bear with me, bear with me. Bear with me. Because I want to show you this video real quick, right? Because, they would like you to, Salakia, 1 second. They would like you to think that it's all good. Everything is all good. Right? So let's finish this out. And I got another one I want you to see. Check this out.
To go visit. All right, it's good to see you, John. Thank
Leland,
you.
today,
Appreciate it.
last thing before you go. Hey, Leland, before you go, last thing. Westfield Mall is going back to the bank. That was announced today. Another big loss for San Francisco today.
And there you have it, man. This place is falling, man. And it's falling fast. Check this out. 1 second. Check this out. Damn. Ads. Salakia, Israel. Salakia.
It's been nearly a year.
So this is the dark side, they would say, of San Francisco, where they have all these robberies, man. So check this out.
Since this group of 4 juveniles attacked this 70-year-old woman in San Francisco. How often are these attacks happening? Data obtained by the I-Team from the San Francisco Juvenile Probation Department shows so far this year, there's been an increase in juveniles committing serious and violent felonies like this one. We'll break down the data in just a moment. But first, a perspective from police. We sat down with Tracy McCray, the president of the San Francisco Police Officers Association, who's regularly briefed by police captains at all 10 district stations.
How often do you see cases similar to that?
More than I want to see.
How many?
More, like 6, 7 kids, ganging up, attacking, 1 or 2 people, attacking elderlies, right? Like, I don't know, it feels like there's at least 1 every week.
1 every week?
At least.
Newly updated data from SFPD shows there have been 131 more robberies across the city so far this year compared to this time last year, bringing the total to 1,003 since January. Police attribute some of that increase to juvenile crime. McCray says juveniles around 12 to 14 years old
are working in groups, coming in and out of the city?
Yeah, groups in and out of the city, some coming from over the East Bay, some who have ran away from their group homes, down south or from the valley, coming up to San Francisco. And I think they feel like, well, who's going to check me?
Last week, OPD arrested 9 juveniles believed to be responsible for 35 robberies in Oakland.
There was some crossover between some of the juveniles that they arrested that in this city, we've come in contact with those juveniles.
How many of them?
I think probably 3 or 4 are the same ones, and they're kind of part of this group, this clique. One of the youngest ones we ran into was 11 at the time they committed an assault.
McCray says this year, attacks involving juveniles are getting more violent, often targeting elderly victims. But there's not enough data out yet to discern the uptick in violent robberies across the city is solely tied to juveniles. As context, the number of juvenile robbery arrests in San Francisco has actually gone down dramatically over the past 2 decades.
Is very small numbers now.
Mike Males is a senior research fellow for the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice. According to FBI crime data, in 1995, more than 500 juveniles were arrested for robberies in San Francisco. In 2010, that number dropped to 188. From 2019 through 2021, those numbers dropped again into the 20s. The I-Team is still waiting for the exact number of juvenile arrests SFPD made so far this year.
So there's hardly a juvenile crime wave.
A crime wave? No. But an uptick? Yes. According to the San Francisco Juvenile Probation Department, there's been a steady increase of juveniles committing serious and violent felonies, also known as 707B offenses. For example, in March, there were 74 juvenile cases.
Well, they tell you could tell a lot by society by the way the kids are and the women. And in America, the kids are out of damn control and the women are out of control, man. So therefore, what you have? You have a decaying society, man. Right? A society that doesn't have any care. A society that doesn't have any love for one another, man. Right? All hell is breaking loose throughout the four corners of the earth, man. The Spirit brought me here to this city, you know, personally, man. For some reason, I do videos and things on New York City, Philly, but it was in my spirit to do something in San Francisco, man. And crime is up in San Francisco. You know, you got robberies and you got theft where people just walking in stores, just grabbing whatever they want and walking out. Right? This is Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, man. People are in gross darkness, man. Wickedness, evil, right? And not giving a damn about nothing. You heard the woman earlier in the video saying, who can check me? That's the way they feel. Who gonna check me? Right? It says, but the Lord shall rise upon thee, who? The prophets, right? The elect of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And his glory shall be seen upon thee. So the glory is going to be seen upon the elect, man. 2/3 of our people, they're going to get cast off, man, on this side. They're not going to make it, right? They're not going to make it. And this is the spirit that we in, right? We watch. We see what's going on, right? This is what we do, right? This is Ephesians, right? Ephesians chapter 5, verse oh, it's lucky. Not Ephesians. First, let's do First Peter's, right? First Peter chapter 4, verse 7. It says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. That's what we do. We try to stay sober, right? Meaning in the spirit, right? In the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, and watch unto prayer, that we may obtain more eyesight, man, eye salve, right? And really see these prophecies unfold, because we do see these prophecies unfolding, right? We see these prophecies unfolding. Let me see what I want here. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. And it says, and it reads, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, man. You got to be wise out here. You can't move around like a fool. Try to be everywhere, right? Be in the mix, right? You gotta move with wisdom, It says redeeming the time, meaning taking hold of these times, watching prophecy, being sober, right? Being vigilant, right? It says because the days are evil, man. These days are evil. These crimes are gonna double and triple as time goes on. Violence is gonna double and triple as time goes on, man. You're not going to be able to escape soon, right? Let's continue.
Cases referred to court, which is 45% higher than the average last year, and 30 admissions to juvenile hall, which is 58% higher than the average last year.
There's some basis for saying there's an increase in juvenile crime, but we've got to remember that the numbers are very small.
SFPD data shows, aside from robberies, there's been a slight uptick in homicides and a moderate increase in motor vehicle thefts across the city this year. But other violent crimes like rapes, assaults, burglaries, and larceny theft have gone down slightly in the first 5 months of this year compared to last year. Larceny theft accounting for the most crimes committed, more than 11,000. That's down from nearly 13,000 last year.
So petty theft, right, going into like a Walgreens, Target, some organized retail theft, but which is more sophisticated though. We always feel like we're playing catch up.
Do you see that problem ever getting better in San Francisco?
No, not until you change the law, right? Not until there's some teeth within the law.
The San Francisco POA has long supported repealing Prop 47 that made some nonviolent drug and property crimes into misdemeanors. But supporters of the legislation argue California is one of 12 states with some of the toughest property crime laws in the country.
In California, you have to steal $900 worth of material before it becomes a felony. In Texas, you have to steal $2,500 worth of material. And the average for most states in the United States is about $1,100 to $1,400 worth of goods before your crime becomes a felony. It's not a matter of having a weak law. Other states have much weaker property crime laws than California, and police are able to operate in those states.
Weak or not, the reality is this. The department is bracing to lose up to 120 police officers by the end of June due to retirements. Last year,
so that's gonna what? That's going to cause a huge uptick in violence and crime, man. And here it is, you got a damn woman as a leader, man, which is going off, right? She ain't gonna be able to do nothing, man. Right? What Esau Edom don't want you to know is that he has nothing under control, man. Right? He has nothing under control. He's losing his grip. He's losing his kingdom. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is bringing this kingdom down, man. Right? This is America, Babylon the Great being judged for its wickedness, man. Right? This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 32. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve, man. Not just San Francisco, New York City, Philadelphia, wherever the Israelites are. Right? The Israelites were slaves and still are slaves in all of these cities, man. So the Most High said, what? Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. You brought us over here in slavery, man. So now, what you've done is going to be a curse unto you. It's going to be your downfall, man. It says, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall. Why was you glad? Because now we're under you right now, right? We are bondmaids and bondmen, slave men and slave women to you right now, right? So that's why you rejoice. Yeah, we got these Israelites, you know, we got the Most High's chosen people as our slaves, as our servants, right? Rejoice, right? But what? It says, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. So now you're going to be grieved, right? You're going to go through hell. You're going to be sad, mad, stressed, depressed. Ultimately, you're going to be a slave, man. Meaning the rulers of this society, of this kingdom, man, which are the elites. And all you so-called white people, with you other nations, man, you're all going into slavery for what you have done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning, man. So all this pride that's going on, reiterating we are in the month of pride, right? How ironic is that? Right? Your pride is gonna be turned in the morning, man. So let's finish this up.
McCrae said this about crime in San Francisco.
It is going to stay the same. That's being real. That's giving you the honest answer.
Do you stand by that statement?
Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, that has not changed. Yes, it will take years to right the ship, so to speak.
How many years?
At minimum 5. I think minimum 5 years, right? Maximum, maybe 10.
For the I-Team, Stephanie.
Which is never gonna end. It's only gonna get worse. It ain't gonna stay the same. It's only gonna get worse, man. Right? San Francisco is a hellhole, man. Down here it says San Francisco to receive federal assistance to combat drug trafficking, man. So it's all hell breaking loose in San Francisco, man. This is the last one. We're gonna shut it down. This is Revelation 18-21. And it reads, a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all, man. So that's how this place is going down, through violence. It was founded with violence, and it's going down in violence. Right? Call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Until next time, Israel, love y'all. Shalom. Repent, seek Yahweh Hashem Yahushua while he may be found. Until next time, Israel, love y'all. Shalom.